I'm here today with Paul Dixon. Paul is the Managing Director of Rothband. Welcome, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Just kick off and tell us a bit about Rothband then. What's it all about?
Well, Rothband, it's been going a long time. Established back in 1860, manufacturing medical products for the NHS. And as part of that growth journey, we started to develop radiation protection items, which we're still doing to this day. And we're probably number one supplier of X-ray protection in the UK. Just starting to get a foothold on some exports globally.
All right, so number one in the UK.
We would say so, yeah. Given the market research we've had available and knowing what we do compared to some of the others, yeah, we seem to have established quite a strong brand leadership in the UK.
Good for you. Congratulations. Where do you reckon you'd be in the world then?
Oh, quite low down in the world scheme. The US dominates really on a global level.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of big players from Germany and further east coming out of India. But as our company history seems to suggest we were the first people to add lead powder to rubber mix. We feel we should be on that global stage, and we should be one of the big players globally, and that's where our strategy is headed for the moment.
Great. So who are you selling to? Who are your customers in the main?
Well, the market is medical imaging. So in the UK, that's predominantly NHS. There's a good portion that's going into private healthcare as well. And then about 15% of what we're doing at the moment is going externally, exported out to distributors, ranging from Germany over to China.
Yeah. And you mentioned there something earlier. What would you say is the thing that differentiates you from other suppliers in this market?
Well, what we quite like about the business is we've clearly got that pedigree of innovation. We're always trying to make things better and provide a better product offering for the patient and the operators. I think one of the things that really differentiates is the fact that we're kind of run by people with clinical experience. So more so than our competitors, we really understand the customer's needs. We've walked a mile in their shoes. We can see some of the problems they're having, and we innovate with experience.
So what does the future look like, Paul? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges ahead?
Well, the future, the main focus at the moment is establishing a global brand. We've been working really hard on what we're doing here to establish ourselves with a UK leadership position, developing the brand, but from a infrastructure and operations point of view, really spending time and energy making sure we've got that good foundation for growth. So that's included moving into much bigger premises, investing in more capital equipment, so that we're able to meet the demands for that growth. Really, one of the biggest challenges you can have when you're trying to grow is to ensure that you can keep up with that capability. And the biggest barrier we found we had was space. So we've been investing in our infrastructure so that it's going to be much easier to scale up to meet extra demand. At the forefront of that, we're working on a brand strategy where, as we look at distribution, expanding the brand globally, we're just taking a bit of time to just redefine what the brand means, to make sure all our messaging is consistent and that it's all cohesive with the product lines that we're looking to bring on board and spearhead as part of that move, really.
So lots going on.
Yeah, lots going on. Yeah.
And lots of opportunities there. What are the challenges?
The challenges, a kind of challenge we met before, is we've tried to grow the market, is being able to meet demand. One of the biggest enemies of growth is not being able to keep up with the supply chain. And we've experienced that at a smaller level, really. You know, a lot of our garments are made to order, so we can't stock. So the busier we get, the longer lead times we have, unless we manage to manage that manufacturing element. So, like I said, having attempted growth a couple of times, we realized that actually, you know, having that infrastructure in place to easily scale up was paramount to building that brand. So that's what we've been spending our time on over the last 12 to 18 months.
Brilliant. Well, I wish you well with that. And looking back, what are the kind of learnings that you've had, Paul, over the time that you've had the business and grown it to where you are now?
Yeah, so I guess some of the things I've learned, just to I perhaps took a little bit longer than I would like to have done to appreciate some of the barriers to growth that we might have had, and what some of the and understanding the manufacturing side a little bit more to understand what's important there. When I joined the company in 2015, I kind of pretty much had the sales side down, the strategy side down, and knew what we needed to do from that point of view. So there's been a big learning curve for me to kind of realize we're a company of two different parts, really. We no matter what we're doing on one hand to grow the business, we need to be constantly reviewing and building that second part of the business to support that strategy. And I think that comes with a lot of barriers that are not quick fixes. And so if I could have put that time in again, I'd have put a little bit more. I'd have gone for a much bigger factory a bit sooner on, a bit earlier in the journey, so we had that capability to grow. I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned. If I could do it again, I'd have probably dug a little bit deeper, a little bit earlier, to make sure that foundation was there a bit sooner. But we've got there. We're there now.
The benefit of hindsight always works.
Hindsight's great. Yeah, it's seeing the wood for the trees sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, thanks for sharing all that. That's been absolutely amazing, and I wish you well on that journey.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Nice meeting you, Mick.